Hey, where's Aaron? He told us to meet him here.
What's up with the balloon?
I don't know, Matt. I really don't know. In the storm drain? Thank you. I've seen Larry eat.
Hey guys. It was just a joke. I need you to let me out now. I think I hear a circus down here. Getting a little afraid. Guys? Guys? I was gonna make espresso!
That was great.
Hey guys, this is Matt. This is a spark of madness.
Hey, that window in the background ain't working. Hold on.
Whoop.
Done.
Okay. That was really good, Aaron. That was really, really good.
I'm Ben.
Well, what happened was we didn't feel like all getting together to record ADR on that, so I was like, I'll just do it all.
And it made it just that much more golden.
We really don't take our work seriously, do we?
Seriously.
That was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed
No, I
it.
was cracking up. Like,
If you're listening to this and you just hear Aaron doing several voices, you may just want to go and
watch the video.
little short.
That's the first
uploading
time me and Matt watched it. Excuse me, Matt and I watched it.
Thank you
It
for
was
the
good.
perfect English.
I particularly enjoyed the
My good English.
good English. I enjoyed the camera bag in the background.
Yeah.
As I
That's how
told
lazy
you,
my dumb camera bag.
Yeah. It's like,
as I said, I thought about painting it out, but then I was like, whatever.
Yeah. You could put a bush in front of it.
I could have put many things in front of it, but I didn't.
Be funny if it was like something different every time. Anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
We digress.
this is Spark of Madness podcast. We're going to talk about a movie that's been on the radar for
9 years.
for
27 years.
for this podcast, like literally 6 months, which is a very long time for us to have a movie on the radar that long.
Yes.
But for Aaron, I know this holds a special place in your heart.
Well, yeah, because I heard like about the first little plan to start making it in like 08, 09. And I remember them saying, oh, yeah, it's going to be out in like 2012. And I'm like, yes! Then it's 2017, and here we are.
It took a while.
But it's perfect because it was exactly 27 years since the 1990 version.
Yeah, now they only have to wait 27 years to do the next one.
Oh boy.
We'll all be dead by then.
Yeah.
Williams.
I'm looking forward. So where should we start with it? I think Ben as the sort of middleman here.
Yeah, sure.
I want you to explain it to people listening,
What
like
does
at a high
it
level.
mean to you?
It? What do you mean, like, at a high level? Like, the movie itself?
What the movie's about?
The movie is about, on a high level, the movie's about the power of love and friendship and doing, true bravery to defeat pure evil.
I like it.
Yeah. So that's kind of the high level of what it's about.
It's power of belief, man.
The power of belief.
So all I really had you seen the 1990 stuff, the miniseries with Tim Curry?
Bits and pieces recently, but like not in a long time.
Because I had, and Aaron, you've read the book
Yes.
and seen the miniseries, and this is like a beloved property of yours.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I knew zero about it other than there was a killer clown. That's all I had going into it. I kind of had heard that he was an alien. I kind of was vaguely aware of that. And so
He's from the macro version.
that actually,
Somebody did their reading.
No.
wow. I was actually pretty
Watched a video
psyched that
about
they
it.
didn't make him an alien, like a killer clown alien, like
But he-
really
but
like
he-
play up the alien
But
side
he
of it.
still is, though.
Yeah, but they didn't.
They might explain. in the next
maybe.
one.
Yeah, maybe.
Not
it'll,
from Earth equals alien.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. So that's all I knew, and so I'll just say right off the bat, because we're gonna do this is a good, bad, and ugly episode.
Oh, wait. Guess what? It's a little different.
good, rad, and okay. That's right. Yeah, that's appropriate.
Thought we'd have fun with that.
This is where I was going. Is that of all? I was. This is a different experience too for us. I think the three of us, because usually we don't have so much time where we have watched something together, and then so much time to digest it before we actually do it for the podcast.
It's been like a week.
And this is a very rare movie where the more you digest, the more it resonates. It's a really, you think about it a lot.
Yep.
It really put a
And you know
stamp
why
in
that
your-
is?
Yeah.
Why that is because it's like ogres.
They got
This movie has layers, many layers. It's got the coming of age story. It's got the high school thing. I guess that goes hand in hand. It's got
the 80s feel for this version.
yeah, but it was kind of backgroundish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Which is
there.
good.
It's there. There's the spooky layer. I mean, and there needs to be one for it to be a spooky movie.
Spooky layers.
I forgot where I was going with this. It's got layers.
Yeah. So
That'll do, don't
I think so. Let's actually do good, rad being like the best. Usually we do good, bad, and ugly, where we then get to like our one or two worst possible things. Let's do rad as the best thing.
Okay.
So save that. Save your absolute favorite thing.
Okay.
So let's start the good.
Good.
I think the number one good, or the first place to start, really is the '80s tone in my mind. Both because they did a good job of setting the environment and the time, like the era. You feel immersed in the era without it being too distracting.
Well, like
Yes,
spoon feed,
because they didn't hit you over the head with it.
Yeah, and so
Because every movie nowadays are embracing the 80s.
Everything's
Thanks,
80s.
Well, thanks to Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And Thor and
it's been so.
and,
Yeah, we.
and what is the
What was that other one? Blade Runner had the music.
Blade
too.
Runner, and then also recently Guardians had
Yeah.
an 80s feel
yes.
to it.
There's like a.
So they're shoving it
It's like
it's become a thing.
So much overkill with the 80s. And so like after like 3 trailers in a row where it's like, all right, we get it. 80s music's in. We got it. And then they start this movie with kind of that vibe again. You get it like when that
the
first-
music. Well, the 80s one. This one started.
it didn't
really,
start. No.
No, this one. Okay, could we talk about the opening?
Yeah, let's do it.
Talk about the opening since you brought the 80s vibe up, but there's nothing related to the 80s vibe. But anyways, I'll go on. So
It kinda is,
It was
but
kind
go
of cool.
ahead,
So
yeah.
they open up with the rain and they have this. You hear this beautiful theme playing, and you see the kids. And like what was so cool is like it was the way they set up the theme. It was the mother playing the piano.
Yeah, that was cool.
Downstairs. Like this is really well thought out movie.
Yeah.
From the start, we know everything was given attention to detail of how we're going to make this movie. So it was really well produced in terms of cinematography and how we're going to do the sequences.
But they start. What I loved about that was where a lot of shows and movies now are using 80s music and like kind of 80s-ization.
there wasn't
as,
any
like,
80s music other than like some of the soundtrack.
Yeah, they're using a lot of other properties are using the 80s as like a cosmetic slap it on to get people
Slap
to
it on a
like
plastic
it.
lunchbox.
Yeah.
Selling it.
Whereas
Selling
this actually went to the Stranger Things school of use the time period really well
As the
from
backdrop.
a human standpoint. Whereas this, it's like we're gonna start in like a suburban. Like it starts with the human element, really.
Yeah.
Like we go into this quiet, like little home that's on a rainy day, and you start with the kids, and like then you immediately get the sort of like this is eerie and off, but you start there, and then that carries through the whole movie. The like really the strongest, not the reason this movie was so good, I feel like is both because the horror side was really well done, but also that the kid characters are. Like you care about them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It's-
each one.
I think that's what a big Stephen King element. It's interesting because a lot of horror movies. I was talking to Aaron about this. Because I want to make a horror movie, and we've talked about this. And the one thing that Stephen King says that a lot of these modern horror movies that you see, they're gimmicky.
So boring.
Well, and the characters are so not just boring. You don't really care about the characters, so like
You kinda want 'em to
You're
die,
shocked.
or-
Well, you're
yeah.
shocked that they died, but you're like, oh well, I didn't.
What is going on here? Stop that.
I'm shocked that they died. but you're shocked that they died, but you don't really. The weight of them dying doesn't mean anything, you know. And so, when these characters that you care about are in danger, you really care. I mean, like Jurassic Park, you really care about Lex and Tim when they're in the kitchen scene, and you were the first time watching that scene, you like, oh, you know, your heart is in your throat, you know.
And what I would add on to that is that the characters you really like, but also it didn't go too far into that mode of, in a horror movie, you know the main characters are going to survive to the end in kind of unrealistic ways.
Yeah.
Like where it's like, oh, that's the main character. Of course they're going to escape this situation. Whereas everyone else, they'll get cut down.
I believe that's referred to as plot armor.
In this,
unfortunately for me, though, I had an opposite. For other reasons, but it's not because of what the movie did. It's just because I kind of knew what was going to happen.
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so I went in as like knowing nothing, and I felt like once I got the idea of how and why he kills people, like what Pennywise has to do, like what he's trying to do, it makes sense why they. I mean, people can argue like, oh, he's just really bad at it, but. Yeah. It kind of makes sense why they kept surviving. I guess
it did.
Why
but
they kept.
But there was there's a discrepancy I want to point out in the beginning.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So why does he do that? Why does he scare the children? Why does he do it, Matt? Why do you think he do?
So I had written down that the rules for him were still slightly unclear, but I feel like he has to make them afraid so that then he can feast on their fear until they're like sucked dry and dead, and
it makes it more savory for them to eat them.
Yeah.
The more scared you are, the better you taste.
So Georgie at the beginning wasn't scared at all when he ripped his arm off. Like Georgie wasn't frightened. You know what I mean? He was frightened, but not like at the most. He
started getting scared the moment he started like.
Yeah, but there's a million times he could have ate the other guy.
Stop it! I'm on top of my game today.
There must be some kind of specter that is possessing your keyboard. Anyways,
sorry.
Yes, but like it doesn't make sense because he could have ate the other kids anytime he wanted. You know, I think he was a little sloppy. Maybe he wanted to. I don't know. That was a little shaky. This is nitpicking, but it was like.
I think it goes better with the book, and this is one of those instances where you can't just say, "Oh, well, if you know this thing from the book, it makes it better." Well, you can't just say that. I mean, it's a movie. It's supposed to stand on its own.
Are you an apologist?
No.
Is that what you are?
I'm trying to say that you can't do that.
Yeah. So explain in the book, just so we know.
I think I remember something about George being like bait for the others. But
so it was a part of a master's. Master Wave's like, yeah, this one's okay. It's a little tender, but I want to make the other one it's a little rough. I want to make the other ones more tender.
But Georgie wasn't floating or anything. Like I thought he just killed him. He just killed him. That was it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
technically he was supposed to kill the other ones too. That's what was kind of iffy. He's supposed to eat them, right?
He doesn't have to eat them. He just likes to chomp on them.
Just a snack, you know.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't clear.
I'll have a couple Georgies before bed.
I don't think it necessarily needs to be super clear because once we understand all the rules, it's not scary anymore.
And also, he's kind of a showman character. Like he's a clown, and he likes to create these like big performances for himself that entertain him.
He's overconfident.
So,
he likes to play with his food.
You can kind of. I mean, I'm
because he's bored.
As nitpicky as I am with just about every other type of movie, when it comes to horror, I'm actually very like I'm down for anything. Like whatever.
See.
So judge me all you want.
I'll judge.
That's where we're kicking you off the show.
Get out of here.
It's gonna be the sparkle of madness now.
Get out of here, Matt. What other good?
That was pretty good. That was a pretty good. That was a pretty
my
good
impression.
Yeah. Just drew your lip and go like this.
No, I can't do that.
This is a good one. I got notes.
Oh! Your handy dandy notebook. We are looking for Blue's Clues.
I got notes.
Well, get on with it.
Yes.
We're already 15 minutes in.
And if you're following along, please type in the chat too what you liked or didn't like, and I'll try and call them out because
all two of you.
This is Aaron's show. Aaron, what
Not
good?
Really. Well, I can tell you of something random I thought of by accident. What if they cut it to be a trailer of this movie, and then all of a sudden you hear, Bev Marsh was just your average sixth grader. And then one day she bought tampons.
And
know
now
what?
she's about to
You know
find
what? When
out.
it comes out in a video, we need to make a hash that. You have to
Bev Marsh.
do.
I really enjoyed a lot of the Easter eggs for people who have read the book.
The literal Easter eggs, Egg Boy.
Well, I mean, that is part of it. But there's a lot of stuff in there that if you catch it, it's like, oh, that's paying some lip service there.
Mhm.
Like, let's see. One of my favorites is actually just in the design of the clown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see. Like, if you've read the book and you've seen the miniseries, you'll know that eventually it becomes a giant spider crab thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of the design of the clown is supposed to, what do you call it?
Emulate that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be spidery in appearance.
Didn't see it.
I got it more with his teeth and with his mouth, I guess.
Yeah.
Like with the mandibles
The
coming
jaw
out
thing.
here. And
Oh,
then
I see. I
The
see what you
bulbous
mean.
forehead being the spider butt,
No.
hair being the legs.
No, I saw a Bozo the clown with
Well,
the.
that's part of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, didn't work for me.
Okay.
I liked his mouth.
Was his
That's what-
mesh supposed to be like a spider web?
No.
His mesh
that I know.
was supposed to just be based on
Let's see.
Renaissance.
The cracked forehead paint was also good because it like
loved
hinted that it was like
Loved
just a
that.
husk.
Yep.
You know. I got that from the first like press release. Photo.
I loved how kind of dirty he was.
Yeah.
Like that he was never like. So long story. So let me just quick aside. I was planning to watch the 1990. Remember I was messaging you guys. I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch it tonight. And then I found like YouTube playlist for free because I didn't want to pay for it.
Oh
of
my
like
gosh.
5
Oh
minute,
my gosh.
5 minute increments to then like go to the next thing. So everything it was like 5 minute increments through the whole thing.
All right.
And I got
4
through
hours.
the first 2 increments, and then I was like, I just can't anymore after watching this. Both because like
Then you put Dragon Slayer in. So
Yes.
like
The one I watched.
Everybody, don't forget remake Dragonheart.
But yeah, so like I got to the part like where it was clear they were going backwards and forwards in time.
That's what
which
the
is
book does.
not what. Yeah. So and
did
then I was like, I didn't want to go too far, but I watched the Tim Curry in the drain, and that was.
Not nearly as scary.
I just was like, I can't do it, and he
No.
was so like
Cheesy.
immaculate,
Yeah.
like bright whites and reds.
But I think that's
and
what they
stuff.
wanted to go for because it's like it's
the
off-putting.
50s.
Yeah,
It
I
is-
thought
it
this
is
was more
off-putting.
off-putting to
Yeah.
me, honestly. Maybe just because Bill Skarsgård was
They
so
both are
good.
off-putting. Let's just say that.
You know what, Matt? You're just a hater on old things. You just like the newest technology. That's right. You can get that $1,000 iPhone. I'm okay with texting.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. You're talking
The
about
last thing
his costume.
The
and
last
stuff.
thing I had for the spider thing, it was a nice little because clearly he didn't turn into a spider in this movie.
No, he
But
will.
but during all the transformation bits in that fight near the end, there was one part where he like grew like crab legs out of his arms.
Yeah,
That was
That's
a neat
right, and he was
little
going
note. Yeah, that was
so it's kind of a
kind
nod
of a
to
reference.
something
Yeah,
happened.
like maybe a hint.
A foreshadowing, one would
Because it's not necessarily a spider; it's just kind of a spider crab thing. But it's cool.
Let's just say I
camel
may be
spider.
disappointed if he becomes a spider.
Well,
Yeah.
I hope they don't just do what the miniseries did and just have a big spider because it was
now I may
lame.
want to watch that scene.
pretty
based
bad.
on what I saw. That might be funny.
Can I say, like, I have two good?
Yeah, go.
Let him go.
Only 2?
Well,
I've got a whole bunch more.
I got much more, but
Okay,
I got two
all right,
goods
all right.
that I'm going to talk about here.
Go.
The projection sequence.
That was a lot of fun.
With the Kodak,
Yes.
the little
Yeah,
yeah, that was
sequence
so good.
Awesome. Oh my that was good. That was great.
And it was perfect because we all thought that the trailer spoiled it all, but it didn't.
No.
No, it was so good. And that
The
was
way they
intense.
used light with that.
I want to watch it again because that was that was one imprint on my mind, and the dancing clown part when he comes out dancing.
Yeah, that reminds me of
the
something.
dancing clown.
When he comes at the end dancing and like the
where they
Where
do the camera on
The
him.
camera is fixated evenly on his face.
There's
It
another
was
little.
so intense. It was such a cool look to it.
There's an Easter egg in that scene, I think. In the background of that shot, like the background behind him, it's like fire and trees and stuff.
Yeah.
It almost, to this reader's eyes, appeared to be like a backdrop depicting his landing on Earth millions of years ago. Spoilers. He came in a meteorite.
It did kind of have like a weird. Well, it had like a
he an
fuzzy
Imperial
green
probe
screen
droid?
vibe too. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, it did have like a fiery
Hey,
supernatural
guys,
feel.
do you remember that video of those guys doing that weird dance to Take on Me?
No.
I don't think so.
Where they're doing that weird, like, where they got their arms swaying around like this? You don't remember that?
No.
Maybe this will jog your memory.
Uh-oh.
Oh yes, visual aid.
Oh, this is this. This is awesome.
That's all I could think of when I saw this.
Did you do this?
Yeah.
That is an amazing. Wait, you made this?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I mean, what was there to make? I put the song to it. I mean,
But was that how short?
Yeah,
the
I mean,
sequence-
yeah, it
Was the
really-
sequence longer than that?
no, it wasn't.
God, it felt longer, didn't it?
It was pretty unsettling for how entertaining
it
was.
felt it felt longer.
His facial expression while he's dancing, like because it's
Even
so
the-
different from the rest. It's like he's got that like serious kind
Yeah.
of scowl thing, which is going on.
You know
which
what I
is
like about that scene, though?
So unsettling.
That scene is great because not only is it comedic, it's also just in the moment, it's almost scary.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
both. It's
Yeah.
like hilarious and scary.
And that came after they played up his showmanship with
Yeah.
the the door going
The
up.
dancing
he's
clown.
Pennywise the clown. Yeah.
And what was interesting, like his face never changed
Yeah.
its position. They what do they call it? They tracked his face.
Stabilization.
They stabilized his face and tracked it.
I did that in a lot of other shots in the movie, too.
Yeah, it's great. It's wonderful.
It's
When
just
he-
supposed to be surreal, you know?
Yeah. They could have gone because they did a bunch of shots of him like kind of rushing at people.
And it would track to his face.
And
It did.
the way they did that, it wasn't like so like unique. It's something I'd never seen before, but they could have done something. They could have cut corners or done something
No,
way less
They didn't. They clearly
creepy. But they did it with like him like shaking his face back
Yeah.
and forth, or
They didn't clearly cut any corners at all, and I think that's why I was like, "This is nice." You know, it was really
creepy
Nice.
every time he was
Yeah.
there. He was creepy.
So, what other good do you have, man?
I will say, just Pennywise in addition to his costume and like that scene and how scary he is. I like the acting performance needs to be brought up because his voice is also extremely creepy. Like I didn't expect him to talk actually. Like I had no idea. So like I went in thinking like he'll never talk, but every time he spoke, it was really good. Like how his
He
little
has like
smile
several different voices, too.
and his like drool would come out and like
Yeah.
just
The drool-
always on edge and like he would use his actual lazy eye
eye.
to like go in different directions.
The drool at the beginning was great.
That was so ugh.
You know, what the take I got, especially at the beginning when he's talking to Georgie, is that clearly this is not a human being. This
Yes,
is not
it's-
something from this earth.
Yeah.
It's a
Because
weird
he's-
thing trying
because
to be
it's-
like us.
It's mimicking things. It's kind of like it's a weird. I mean, what do they call those sociopaths? People who like
Yeah.
It was like very sociopath, but like more alien.
Yeah, he just
you know?
wasn't like a killer. He actually was a monster. Like he wasn't just a serial killer.
Yeah,
or
and I think
something.
that played through.
Yeah.
It was
So well.
because
Especially the lazy eye.
well, yeah, the Tim Curry one was more articulate, you know, and
Yeah.
you know, this one was more like obviously this is some Men in Black shit. You
Yeah,
know,
that's a good way to put it in black.
going on there.
Sugar and water.
We're not strangers anymore, are we?
It's a cockroach.
Like popcorn, Georgie.
Sorry.
The only other thing I'd call out just the dance of the contortion,
The contortion.
Yeah, that was cool.
His costume, the like just his mannerisms at all times were
Unpredictable.
very unpredictable, but in the moment were the perfect kind of choices to make, like for how he would like move and like
Yeah.
the scene where he would at the very end where he kind of like popped out of Georgie's body and his feet kind of
Yeah.
like plopped on the
that
ground.
was so great because it
That
was
was a good
like,
acting
cute.
choice.
Like the way I love the way they did it with the score, where it came out all cute. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then
It kind of reminded me a little bit how in Batman and Robin when Bane's being
Oh
made.
yeah.
a little bit, a little bit, but better.
That's
than-
what makes it so good.
Yeah.
Let's see.
and I did like having known nothing. I liked that they kind of conveyed his backstory almost entirely through showing us rather than like
I have that written right
Yeah,
here. Show, don't tell.
through the books.
That's what a
and
movie's for.
hearing about the town being cursed. Like, I mean, that's tell, but like,
But
it's not overt. Oh, there was this rumor of a clown that crashed into the planet.
Exposition, got that?
exposition.
Yeah, you don't need it.
No,
You being my brother.
If you explain too much, the mysticism is gone. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
mysterious.
and
Also,
they
it's not
showed him in the pictures, and then that
Yeah.
kind of played through to that projector scene where he's hiding in the background,
Yeah.
and then it becomes like oh my god, that was a brilliant sequence.
There was a lot of
the
subtle
garage.
stuff in this movie, like that scene there with all that weird stuff going on, and then I don't know if anybody else noticed this, in the scene where Ben's in the library. Not you, Ben.
I'm never in the
Ben,
library.
I'm at the movie theater.
And after he gets that library book from that lady, he's reading the book. She's way off in the background. She's out of focus, but it looks like she's grinning, like, eh. And then every time the camera cuts back to her, she gets a little closer.
That's awesome.
There's
That's
little weird
amazing.
stuff like that.
Well, you know, that's kind of reminds me of another Stephen King movie that you got to go back and watch, or something disturbed, like little things that make it disturbing that you don't
Yeah.
even really realize is The Shining.
Yes.
Like they changed the carpet pattern in the
Yeah.
same shot. The little things
Love
that
that
like it's
movie.
off-putting. It's like and you don't know why.
And you might not even notice it, but
no,
it's still
but
off-putting.
Something in
Yeah.
your left brain is like, what? Something's not right. You know, green ketchup.
Green ketchup.
And let's just go to the rad. I'm sure we'll have some. We'll be able to expand. There's a whole bunch left.
Oh, there's so much.
You guys start. One of you guys start.
All right, so the
that-
rad is I think and I'm sure you guys agree with me 100%. The best thing about this were the kids.
yes. of
The
course.
actors, the kid actors were the best. They were everyone except for one, in my opinion, were great. The other one was okay, but because he's surrounded by really good ones, it kind of
Which
You're
kid?
talking
well,
about Mike, right?
Mike,
Mike.
the black
yeah,
kid. Right?
According to what I know about the character from the book and what I've read from the director of this movie,
He wasn't that bad.
he wasn't bad at
He
all.
just had a
He
small
didn't have
part.
a lot of backstory.
No, they almost cut him out.
I
gonna-
actually disagree.
Well,
a
that's
little bit
because
strongly about his backstory part.
It was good. It was just sparing.
I loved how they conveyed his backstory, but then it was sort of like we're kind of cutting ahead, but
Yeah.
that was my qualm with Ben too. In the library is that they each had kind of a strong intro scene, and then everything afterwards for them was kind of like they just were
Deflating.
just kind of there.
yeah.
Suffice it to say, Ben, I think you won't be disappointed with his role in the next part.
Yeah, doesn't he like stay? He's the only one still
He
in
stays
Derry.
behind. Yeah, he's instrumental in getting them all back together.
Oh, so he's like Captain America. Get the team back together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Team Dairy.
Team Derry.
But I did really like all the kids. I mean, they were
lactose intolerant.
they
Sorry.
the Dairy.
Now that you
Just
brought
got
up the
that.
kids, it reminds me. I remember when it was like 2009 and 10, and my buddies and I, who'd read the book, were like talking about who should play who, and we were all worried about the clown. And what we should have been worried about was the kids.
100%.
Yeah.
Any Yahoo can can like prepare to be a clown and do a good job. It's the kids that can go so wrong,
Yep.
Yeah. It's
and
true.
they didn't. Thank God.
I thought Joe Pesci would have been a great kid.
You know what? Hey, man,
He just
you
needs
should
a
have been the.
Snickers.
You should have been Richie
You talking to
with
me?
the glasses. Yeah, your mom.
how?
Yeah, funny. Funny, huh?
Your mom like my wang.
Go get your fucking shine box.
I will say the easiest possible thing that the second you started to see the kids, before they even spoke, the cue that this was gonna it was in the right hands was that they weren't all like attractive Disney kids. Like they all had very obvious flaws.
You mean they were, people and not Disney children?
Right?
Yeah.
They weren't like all
dolls.
makeuped up or
Yeah.
more fit than they should be for 10-year-olds or
You're right, you're right.
13-year-olds. Like they actually. So this is in contrast to. Like when you watch the Ready Player One trailer and hear like what their casting decision was. They're casting the main character who's supposed to be this like greasy loser, overweight kid, and they're casting him as like a Disney kid.
Pretty boy.
Versus this, where they have Ben, who's clearly like I don't know if it's written in the book, but he has a weight problem. They have
He's fat. Let's say it.
the guy play like actually having a stutter.
That
you
is
know?
in the book.
Yeah,
as is the stutter.
They actually keep that stuff in and not like soften the edges of all these.
But they
characters.
also kid actors that can carry it. Yeah,
That's
and
true. Yeah,
and the
that's
main kid
true.
with the stutter has
it's
such a-
only as good as they can carry.
It bothered me because there's a little kid, and this is how evil I am.
Lay
But
it
the
on
main
us.
kid, who's the main kid?
Bill.
Bill. He has such a little mouth, like a little mouth. It was just
And
like,
a long neck.
yeah. It was like this the whole movie. Well, Georgie was there.
He's like a fish.
It was like, but like when he get mad, he'd be like, "Get away!"
Hey Ben, you know what fish do? Float.
Oh, hey, he brings it home. Bring it home. Bring it
I got
home.
something rad.
Okay.
How about the Rock War?
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
that was another thing that they, in addition to Pennywise, they told the sort of coming of age social awkwardness stuff almost entirely through like good scenes like that, like them getting together and.
Lots of showing, not telling.
That's right. That Rock War and the cut with the music too.
Yeah, was that? I'm not like a metal guy anymore. Was that like Metallica or something? I
I
can't.
don't know.
It sounded like it.
I don't know
But then
music
again,
very well.
I'm not a metal guy.
I like
actually may be able to
orchestral music.
find it for you.
Yeah, I prefer Handel. Brahms.
You had a special boy there, you.
Yeah.
Special boy.
I like the swimming scene, the diving. I thought
Yeah,
that
like
was
where
good.
everybody remember where they're all in the underwear and the boys are staring at her until she looks and they're like,
Yeah, that was good.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
I'm gonna go behind the bushes. Another South Park reference. I did think there was a lot of good humor in this too, which
so good.
kind of sets it apart from other. Sort of like how you look at, almost like the qualifier between DC and Marvel is that like DC just can't handle humor at all. Like it can't get.
What do you mean I can't handle you? You can't get to the lighthearted.
it doesn't want to do humor, and when it does, it's bad.
Yeah, and so where this it used it in the right moments and did it very well. I thought.
Which was funny for me because it was the coming of age story. This movie's pacing in that way, like how it could turn the tone on a dime. It reminded me of growing up, where one moment you're super happy, the next you're terrified or upset, and it just changes on a dime because you're a kid.
layered very well.
And I enjoyed that.
The fact that Ben had what was the band he liked?
The
boy
cool
band?
New Kids on the Block.
New Kids on the Block.
New Kids on the Block.
liked how they
That
worked
was
that
a
in.
great
That was-
thread.
That was
And
like the
that's
only
so
overt
good.
80s stuff.
And it's true. And the best part was like when what's her name?
When he's hurt,
Bev, and she shuts the door. And,
Yeah, that was so funny.
That was so good.
they do like the close-ups on the band and stuff.
That was so good.
Does anybody have any favorite quotes?
No.
No?
I don't think I have a favorite quote. I don't.
Do you
Well,
have any
I didn't
that you
write it down,
remembered?
so I'd
'Cause
never.
I
remember.
do.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think everybody knows that Richie was pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
Richie was funny.
What was that
From
one
Stranger
where-
Things.
I
You
get-
have to
yeah.
watch it. You have to watch it.
Just
Aaron
like
has
Game
not.
of Thrones.
I
just
know,
like
but
all
right
this
now you
other
got to watch
stuff.
Stranger Things just one
I'm
season.
taking notes for it.
Okay, go.
It took all day.
Ready Player One.
No, what was that one where Ben's explaining the history of dairy? And he says, Derry was started as a beaver trapping camp. Still is, am I right?
He left hanging. Like that was an Aaron joke. You know, it's like,
I don't know. If
oh, sophomoric.
but it was.
That's
It
what was funny about it.
What was funny about it is how unexpected it was, even for how predictable that kind of joke is.
Still right.
Because it's a horror movie. Let's see. I think all of my quotes from the rest of my list here are from Richie.
Hey man, that rad lower third's awesome. The way he looks,
thanks.
Pennywise.
I didn't make it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I didn't photograph that.
Yeah, sorry. Squirrel.
Do you and your mom use the same toilet? You probably have crabs.
Yep.
Look at this motherfucker. He's leaking hamburger helper.
That was pretty good too. Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I won't read them all, but
I the one quote I did like, I'm gonna butcher it, was actually the police officers, like the dad. He goes like see how Paper Man crumbles in fear. You know,
Yeah,
like
that was a good one.
That was something like that.
I like that.
It was a good quote.
How did I draw the short straw? You guys are lucky this wasn't a dick measuring contest.
Yeah, crickets. Q. Thank you.
Nick, I don't know if Nick is saying that this is a good or a bad, but he's bringing up the bully with the mullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go blow your dad, you mullet-wearing motherfucker.
Yeah, that was good. What did you guys think of the bullies?
I thought they were good. I mean, they weren't very fleshed out. But
It's typical Stephen King, you know, like one-dimensional
Just
character.
So over the top.
whoa.
Like, just
In
like the
the
adults.
book, they are not one-dimensional.
They
but
were very much so in this.
yeah, I'll give you that.
Not in like a terrible way, just because you could. In my mind, I was positioning it that even from there was an escalation that then fit within the pattern of what Pennywise was doing with what's his name, Henry Bowers, the main bully, and like his like twist
Descent
into
into
actually
madness.
becoming a.
Do you think he's
murderer.
dead?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think he's dead?
Yeah,
Because in the book he doesn't die, right?
In the book, he doesn't die till much later.
Spoiler. Thanks for that.
You're
Well,
welcome.
sorry. He did fall down a well. He
In
might
the book,
be dead.
In the book, did he fall down the well?
No.
There was no well, was there?
No.
I actually didn't. I didn't so much like the bully with the mullet's death with his little flamethrower thing, and then the zombies show up.
You see, that was Patrick. Much more fleshed out in the book. He's like the most screwed up part of the book.
Really?
Yeah, he's like so messed up in the head that nothing scares him.
Yeah.
And Pennywise has like trouble coming up with something that'll make him afraid.
That's a great idea.
Why
Maybe
didn't they
they're
use it?
saving that. They might be
What?
saving that.
No, because he's dead.
Well,
Yeah.
for like using that idea onto a character.
So what? How did he kill him?
I believe the only thing that Patrick was afraid of in the book was leeches. So like these leeches that blow up like balloons attacked him and shit. It was weird.
So I will say, the last thing about the bullies I was going to bring up was the TV show. Him being in the
That
kids'
was so
TV show.
good.
That's just an
That was
amazing
good.
idea.
And
That's
they
so
did it
good.
more than once. Early in the
Several
movie,
times.
it was on TV.
They set it up.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know,
I
it's
was
really
so
subtle.
happy.
And you could see him. That's where I get like, you could see the footprints of like where he came from, like trying to influence the people. Like you could see him making
There was a trail.
Bev's dad potentially even worse. Although I think they were trying to set that up that he's always been just a shit show.
Yeah. But he had control. So he basically had all the control over the adults and their one-dimensional.
Not so much
adults.
control, just influence.
Yeah.
Kind of like being in a room with like a little bit of gas. It's gonna mess with you. Like it's not gonna kill you, but like if you're in a room, like gaslighting,
you.
I guess.
I do that every week with you guys.
Yeah, after we get some beam gas.
Can I say my rad before we go to just some bad?
Please, I got so many.
So my favorite part about this movie, by far, was basically how Pennywise tried to use cater their fears, their personal fears, into like trying to kill them. So we get we see the burnt hands coming out of the door for Mike, and then you see the meat packer. This coming after like the scene I loved was the like sheep kind of metaphor.
Scene.
You don't want to be a sheep, or someone's going to make a decision for you, and you got to take control into your own hands and kill the sheep. So the burnt hands, then the sort of like literal adolescence explosion metaphor of the blood and hair for Bev, and then contrasted with her dad, and then the brother in the basement in the water, the leper for his like
a leper.
what's it called when you're
Enough from the clown.
he's afraid of getting sick and stuff, and then the guy the headless guy trying to follow Easter eggs, like not it all felt, and the other two, the clowns was a great scene. The painting of the creepy lady, we talked about this. I wasn't a huge fan of that just because it just felt like this is a creepy thing that he's afraid of.
You know the backstory of that?
Hit me.
Go on.
Creepy painting ladies from Andy Machete's other movie, Mama, I believe.
I was looking at that, yeah.
So it was kind of a
Was a
self-referential
tie-in.
thing.
Okay.
Oh, a little self-jerking off.
In that
Well, you might say.
yeah. But I
I
mean,
used it a lot.
not only were all the scenes of those really, really good, but I saw that, like, in the book, it's more like Dracula comes out or Wolfman comes
Yeah,
out,
because it's
stuff
set
like
in the
that.
50s and the 80s.
And it's like very like this is a reference. It's sort of like as if they were all afraid of clowns, and you just made them all clowns or lizards or something. Like I like that they made it very much more psychological and more tailored both to the kids themselves, but also with that coming of age story. Specific with the,
I think it worked better because that was Stephen King's, from what I understand, his original intent was to make every scary horror monster like prevalent. You know what I mean? Like what if it was this, and like that was the original book, and I'm glad they didn't.
that's like the
Do that.
Ready Player One-ization of like story. Like let's just throw in something they might be able to reference
Yeah.
rather than making it.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. Look, Freddy Krueger. It's Freddy Krueger, guys. It is. Jason. Like, no.
Matt, before I
So-
miss the idea, Matt.
Yeah.
I hate to interrupt.
Go.
I'm about to blow your mind here.
Blow it.
Remember the sheep scene?
That's what she said, guys. Am I right?
Yeah.
Luckily, it's not a dick measuring contest.
Remember the sheep scene in the movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Sheep are related to goats, are they not?
Yes.
Sure.
Did you know that originally this story that Stephen King wrote was going to be somewhat based on the Three Billy Goats Gruff?
What's that about?
Yeah, I don't even know that.
You don't know that story?
Nope.
No, I don't.
Maybe I do.
It's like where the goats are trying to go over the bridge and there's like a troll under there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought this would be more impactful for you guys.
No, I still
but,
don't really follow at all.
Cue the crickets.
I'm
I've
guessing
already done the
they
crickets.
two don't make it, one makes it.
Moving on.
Okay.
Do you remember? Do you remember Lambert the sheepish lion? Anyways,
Thanks for saving it for me, bro.
That was a good series.
You know, I mean, that's kind of it. Like, I really liked the element of like playing to somebody's individual fears, and so like,
yeah.
I feel like the two biggest. I didn't see Annabelle. I'm sure that's done pretty well,
It
but
sucked.
it did okay.
I didn't like it.
The two biggest horror movies that have come out this year, I feel like one was more comedy, like comedy horror, and Get Out, and then
That's
this
Get
one,
Out comedy.
it's like horror comedy. Yeah,
Wait.
the actual horror stuff isn't really comedy, but there are comedic elements in it.
Oh,
like
okay.
more overt. It's supposed to be a lot of.
It's not
comedy.
like Shaun of the Dead then.
It is kind of Shaun of the Dead, like actually closer to that kind of
I gotta
horror
watch it.
comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, so where I was going was that like sometimes like I don't think you should always give too much credit to a movie coming out in a, and I'm not trying to be like controversial, but to like give it too much credit for coming out in the perfect time period for
Yeah.
that it, you know, like our political climate, our world climate, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Get Out came out and is overtly like trying to make a statement,
A political
statement, racial statement, class statements, all sorts of that. This movie obviously was not trying to do that, but it comes out in a time where, like, every single day there are like people are constantly afraid. I feel like they're like I feel like it, at least for me personally, it resonated a little bit more because it was like there is this monster, and it's a clown no less, that is constantly playing to your basest fears for its own advantage, and that's something that
It happens every
Yeah,
day.
it could.
Every day.
It takes on a
the
mind.
clown society.
No, the
That's
clown
All right.
is the mainstream media.
No way else to go.
Society.
Fake, fake news clown.
It's not real.
Yeah.
I was a little late
Let's
on
rush
that.
through some any other bad. There were
Bad.
Oh no.
or okays. Yeah.
No,
really. It's
what,
just
what about the
okays.
rad?
This is
the
the
rad.
rad.
We just did rad.
Well, I have
No,
one more.
well, we
Okay,
have-
keep going, rad. We'll do
My
rad.
rad
Not bad
was-
yet, have we?
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Okay, the
My
ugly-
rad
We'll rush
was
through
the palpable tension in many scenes. Mm-hmm. Like in the very first scene, where it's all joyful and happy and stuff, but you know it's not going to end well. I had almost the same level of tension that I had in like a lot of the scenes of Inglourious Bastards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I had tension too. But a lot of people didn't from this movie. It's mixed reviews in terms of I wasn't scared at all,
I wasn't scared.
but
So what?
there was too many. You know, I'll talk about this in my bad, but
Yeah.
but maybe we can transition to the bad.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to transition?
The okay.
It's just yeah.
The
a great
okay.
face.
Yeah. Someone's an apologist. I'm gonna nip this thing.
Go ahead. I was just
Do
I
it.
was just
Usually
having fun
that's
with the
my
format.
job.
Say
I'm gonna
whatever
do
you
it.
want.
I want to do this because I thought, first of all, I thought this was one of the better movies of the that we watched. New movies. I thought it was well constructed. I thought they really put a lot of effort into it. But in terms of horror,
Not scary at all.
no, not scary.
So
it
what?
wasn't scary.
Ooh, I will disagree only for the
I
the
was
teeth chomp at the
Yeah,
start.
that was
scary,
good.
and that was a great overhead shot of him being kind of
Yeah.
dragged in with the
And I love the
the
hand.
blood.
I love that. It was
The-
well done.
The other part I would say is the projector scene where maybe it's not super scary, but like I was like kind of doing one
Yeah.
of these where I'm like kind of backing up.
What it is jump scares. The jump scares, and I think there was too much of that. Every time they made, they put the big dong, noise on it. The dong.
The dong.
The gong, I should say. Slasher noise, and it's like, so I wish it was more subtle. You know what I mean? I wish it was more subtle scare. I mean, it's scare, but there's nothing wrong with a jump scare, but it's just like this is overly produced scare. You know?
That's why I kind of appreciated the thought that went into how they were doing it. Like, it is a jump scare that is based off of like a slow build before it, I guess. Like, that is not like Paranormal Activity of like a camera spinning around for 15 minutes straight in silence and then something happens. Like, they actually.
That's pretty good, though. I kind of like that idea better.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like,
okay.
Different strokes, Matt.
Okay.
but that's a good setup for a jump scare. It's not like every minute there's a jump scare. I felt like there was a lot of jump scares, like, back to back. Like, there was no, like, I don't know.
You know why I think this movie wasn't scary?
Because you've read it.
Because I was never scared by the book. I was never scared by most of.
Well, the clown would never get you then.
We as a society are completely desensitized to horror.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing scares us anymore. If this movie had come out 30 years ago, it would have traumatized a generation.
You're right, because everybody was terrified of the 1990 version.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, we are desensitized.
yeah,
for sure.
like you can't blame that on the movie. I mean, we've seen it all.
Yeah.
I think you can still make it scary.
Yeah, you can, but it gets harder and harder to do
but
so.
here's the fear: if it's more subtle, then the producers don't like it. There's a lot of
Yeah, you got to get those butts in those seats.
you got to get people scared of.
I thought they struck a nice balance.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I like
But as a pure horror movie, I didn't think it was like, this is scary.
I don't
thought
even
was
see it
good
as a horror movie.
I mean,
That's a-
at
that's
some
a-
I see it
point,
as a thriller.
at some
Yeah,
point,
but-
you do have to go off of the source a little bit. Like if you're saying you're making a movie about a creepy clown that uses kind of illusions and stuff to creep people out and then kill them, like, I don't know what more they could have done with that.
No,
premise
I don't
that
know.
they had to be
No,
locked
it
into.
was very
So,
faithful to the book
yeah.
too. This is just as because I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I loved it a lot, and I can't wait to watch it again.
You want
But I'm just saying, like, I didn't like I was.
Was it perfect? No.
No. Was it a classic? No. But it was a very good movie.
I think
Oh, I liked both. I disagree with both. I thought it was perfect. I loved it.
I love
Well,
your
the bar is
opinion,
low
Matt.
with you, Matt.
You want me to nitpick? You want me to nitpick?
Well, I mean,
I've got some nitpicks.
I don't think it's perfect, but it was an instant classic for me.
Yeah, I loved it. It's I'm gonna remember. I
So you're
remember.
saying that I'm not allowed to have an instant classic?
Yep.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
So
I mean, it
two
was good.
two quick nitpicks. One, cleaning the bathroom scene. Didn't
Yeah.
need it. Didn't need that. I don't know what it was supposed to symbolize.
Togetherness.
Other than like, we're
They-
cleaning up this mess and gonna get better. I don't think you needed to
and
do
that,
it.
and that would take longer than that would take
It did take a
day.
A long time. No one
And the-
came home.
And the kid was still out there waiting.
Just
Oh, yeah, I
forever.
forgot about George.
I'll tell you why they did that is because they were trying to reinforce the "we're all in this together" thing.
Okay.
But
and we will all
maybe it
go
fell flat.
down together.
Were there any other instances of his Pennywise's impact on like a kill where nobody else could see it? Where it like was that because her dad couldn't see it because Pennywise had gotten to him, or was it because she can only see it?
That's the influence thing. You only see what he wants you to see.
Okay, so maybe that was it. Maybe that's why, and I just didn't get it.
Well, it's interesting, which is probably why this is a good part for me. Why you didn't get it is because they didn't explain it. They didn't spoon
Thank
forward
you.
to you.
Yeah, that's
You know,
true.
and I like that.
Yeah,
Like this wasn't Star Trek.
But
turning it around.
You're right. It's not the good Star Trek. It's not
Right.
the Star Trek 2 where they didn't explain a lot of things and you left to the question. So you think about it. It's thought provoking. We're thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's good movie making. I think that's good movie
mystery.
making.
The best stories have lots of mysteries.
Well, the best stories answer questions, but when they answer the questions, they create new questions.
We're looking at you, J.J. Abrams.
Oh, FM.
That'll be a new one.
FM.
That'll be another part.
FM.
I thought the
FM.
love triangle stuff. I think they set it up all right now. I'm expecting it to be much better in part 2 or much more.
The love triangle is completely dropped in part 2 from the book's perspective.
That will change. That has to change.
Maybe.
I can't foresee that.
I mean, yeah, no reason to set it up if you're not going to do anything. with
I
it.
guess because I don't know if you had this, but I guess what's her name, Bev's character as an adult in the new one or the old one, has the worst like acting moment. Like it's like notoriously really bad. I've heard that it's so
What
bad.
was the
Worse
line?
than
I remember-
why?
No. No, that can never be worse. It was that was beautiful.
We'll have to watch that.
At some point, yeah.
The last one I have, and
Why
because
is he so mean? Like, why is he so mean? That's what she says. Like, why is he so mean?
Why is he doing this?
I loved the 27-year gap. I love that.
Yeah.
And you can actually explain away my criticism because it's such a long time. People kind of know the town's cursed. There is data, constant data that people keep dying at a certain pattern even, or like there's a trend. Why has nobody like committed fully to trying to crack that case? And maybe that'll
of
be in the
it.
second one.
Because of it, probably. That's an explanation. 'Cause
That's the influence
he's
thing
the
again.
influence and everything. The same reason why you can't see the blood.
Debunked again.
He was
You're right.
He was in Derry before it ever was Derry.
You're right. In
He
that
is
little
Derry.
shed or whatever,
Yeah.
the well house.
Which was neat. As
was
a
a good
reader of
set.
the book, that was kind of a mashup of two elements. The house and the sewer were two different things. They mashed them together in this, and I like that. Saved some time.
Yeah. I liked that set. That set of that house and the well and
Oh,
stuff.
so
at the bottom.
good.
Yeah, that
And
was good.
Then his little.
When he crawls in, like, that was creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're all on the same page. We would encourage people to go see it.
Oh yeah, go
right?
see it today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
we
see
saw
it
it
twice.
in IMAX, and, like, the sound in IMAX was bar none.
Keep giving it the record amount of opening weekend money. Like keep the gravy train going.
Yep.
How much do you guys think this movie cost?
45 million.
I know how much it cost.
Okay, $35 million,
35?
35.
and it is almost at $200 million
What?
box office.
Wow.
I checked it like
in-
this morning, and it said 123.
It's at since I printed Wikipedia, it's at 198.
Holy crap.
198.
But that's interesting because 35 million is really low budget
Nothing.
movie in 2017, 2016.
We did
super low.
What
budget.
movie did we do recently that had 40 million? Was it Death Note or was it?
Did Death Note have 40 million?
It might have been Death Note.
Oh,
it
you
also might have been First Night.
Yeah,
Now that
that's
think
what I
about it.
wanted to
First
say.
Night had a huge budget. Now, comparatively,
No, 40 million
For
back then was much
20
more.
years ago,
with inflation and things
oh, jeez. We got to talk about
maybe
who's gonna,
maybe the 1990s movie had a more budget. Like,
like 3 hours.
yeah.
It was 4 hours.
We need to talk about last thing. We got to speculate.
Speculate.
Who's going to play the adult versions.
Aha.
Because it's such a great idea that they're doing it. That it's
I've
such a
been
great story
waiting
idea.
for this.
All right,
His notes.
lead the way, Aaron.
Lead the way. Okay.
Who's going to play Pennywise?
I think it's gonna be Bill Skarsgård.
It's going to be
Call me crazy.
The older Skarsgård. It's going to.
Well, hopefully they do this soon.
Part of the
'cause
ship, part of the crew.
The next movie has to have the kids for flashbacks, and they can't get too much older.
That's true.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who do you think should play Richie in the next movie?
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Richie with his glasses.
Oh no, Richie with the glasses. No, the main kid should be Richie with the glasses.
He's got to have comedic chops.
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis. He quit.
You're
acting.
focusing on the glasses.
Rick Moranis.
He's the only person with big glasses.
Yeah.
Any ideas? I've got a few.
I said Rick Moranis.
You go first.
Well, I thought of this, and then I found that other people said the same thing.
Okay.
What about Bill Hader?
Yeah,
That's
I
my
could
Bill
see
Hader
it.
impression of Dateline. I didn't realize I did that. Kismet.
I could see it. He's not as.
Yeah.
I think he could pull it off.
Yeah, I'm not saying this is what it has to be.
Sure,
It's
Because
just
he's
what popped in
witty
my
and
head.
funny.
Yeah. Let's see. You guys are saying for Beverly it should be Amy Adams.
I mean, she was basically Amy Adams in this movie.
Well,
like
yeah.
if
Doesn't
she was
Amy Adams
16.
cost too much? I don't
Not
know.
nearly enough.
I don't think. I mean, there's
She's
no
more
way
expensive.
There's no way they'll pay her. But
Well, I mean, this isn't like Marvel where they can afford $50 million to get Robert Downey Jr. You know,
she just looked exactly like
right?
Little
If it were
Bev.
in terms
Yeah.
budget aside, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, they're getting their money back, so maybe they'll invest more
The
money.
director and stuff we're talking about Jessica Chastain for that role.
She's that's who I was. I mean, she's got the red hair, so
Well, I mean, anyone can dye their hair.
I mean, what's her name did it for Spider-Man?
Yeah.
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 But she's got to be more. I don't think Jessica Chastain could do it. She's got to be more like spunky.
Plus, she
character.
also costs too much.
Yeah.
Now, Eddie. Eddie was the hypochondriac. Are you ready for me to lay something?
Hold on. Woody Allen.
What do you,
Woody Allen would be perfect. He's a little too old, though.
I just can't. Where's my halo?
The
Woody Allen he would be perfect. He's Jewish. You
What
know?
about the Jew character?
Billy Crystal? Billy Crystal would be.
you're really
Too
aging.
old.
You're really aging them up.
I'm really aging me.
Go on, Matt.
It's really hard. I bet they go with more no names. Actually,
think?
I keep thinking of like big time actors, and that would almost throw me off.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah, go.
Fred Savage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
He's got the look for sure.
You look like Fred Savage.
I did when I was younger.
Put your cheeks together like this. See?
No, I don't see
I
it.
see it.
No.
I see it.
Okay.
I was thinking of.
What would you
Have
do?
either of you guys watched New Girl?
I don't think so.
Something green.
I don't think so.
I mean,
No, I have not.
it's one of the guys in there.
I have taste, man.
Something
Oh,
green.
burn.
Green something. He would be a good. He plays kind of like a prim and proper kind of guy.
I forgot to hit this 5 minutes.
Yarg. Yarg.
Gar. Scar.
The pipes are blowing. Who else?
Let's move closely, or move quickly. Yeah, Fred
Not that
Savage.
we've been providing very many.
Fred Savage is all
suggestions.
I had for Eddie. I think the actor that did Ben went on record as saying he wanted Chris Pratt.
That makes sense because he was fat.
It's not going to be Chris Pratt
Yeah,
unless
he-
they do a transformation
No.
or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because he won't play.
More like Chris
I could see Chris Pratt playing the other kid, the jokester. I know he doesn't have the
Yeah,
hair, but
you're
like
right.
I could see him turning into the jokester maybe.
Maybe.
He's too like again,
It's
you got
possible
to
to
you
lose
got to
weight.
get like non-attractive people.
But that's what the whole thing. Like he got to be attractive as an adult.
Yeah,
right?
that's part of the aspect of this is when they leave
is it
Derry,
re-
they're all super successful
Oh, okay.
and
All right.
attractive.
Keep going.
Let's see. I had the most trouble with Bill.
Which one's Bill? Oh yeah.
Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks should be Bill.
Not Tom. He's
What
too
about
old.
his son?
That's
Yeah.
on my paper right here.
You're kidding me.
Colin Hanks.
See, I knew it. I knew it should be a Hanks.
That's great.
I put Colin Hanks on there.
yes.
Yes.
You know who my pick above that was, though?
Who?
Toby.
McGuire. It's not a bad.
No, LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton could be the black kid.
Still too old. But yes, Toby Maguire.
Yeah.
I could see that.
What about the black kid? You're racist.
Whenever I
absolutely
try to
right.
cast somebody, I try to find an actor that looks like him, and I couldn't find anyone that looks like him. He looks like Muhammad Ali.
Yes, he does. He really, really
Biopic
does.
when?
He does. He does.
So get the guy who played Muhammad Ali laugh.
Will Smith.
Will Smith?
Will Smith could
He
be.
know- also
they had
costs too
another
much.
guy. They had another one. There was another movie in between, I thought.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
Well, that's it for me.
Or the guy that played. He's too old. The guy who's in all the. He's Black Panther now.
Oh, that guy. He could do it.
Yeah.
He might be too.
What
yeah.
about what's his name who played Creed?
Ooh.
Michael B. Jordan?
Yes. I knew
Michael
it
B.
was
Jordan be
familiar.
good.
Why don't you just bring in the whole gang, all the Fantastic Four gang?
Why
They could
don't we
probably
just
fit
wait
in
27 years and have the kids play themselves?
age-wise?
Because we'll never watch it. We might be dead by then.
What if they shot this actually 20 years ago and we just
What?
This cinematography is amazing for 1993.
This film stock is totally different from 1983.
Is there a dad clown or like another alien clown at any point?
But
There's
the
if they got
turtle.
Tim Curry. That
You
would
talking
be-
about the turtle over here?
We'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real need for the turtle. I mean, they make references to it in the movie here and there, but
Doesn't he die in the book?
the cosmic element of this is kind of ditched, and I think for good reason.
They might explain in the next one.
They might try to, but
I think that'd make it better.
the reason I
Storytelling.
like this movie is because it didn't get all pedantic with being so true to the book with all the cosmic stuff going on in the book.
But maybe they'll address that in the next one. which will
Maybe
make it
they
interesting.
will. But
Yeah.
the reason I liked it so much is because it wasn't so tied down by the source material like The Lord of the Rings was, remember?
Yeah.
They changed things here and there to make it work as a movie, and we loved it for it. I almost liked the Fellowship of the Ring movie better than the book.
Blasphemous.
It's just really well done.
I'll be honest, if they had pulled out the like Universal monsters instead of what they ended up doing, I would have not liked it as much.
I wouldn't have either.
I would really have not.
So, on a sad note, I saw an interview recently of Tim Curry.
He's not doing it.
No, I didn't realize he had a stroke
Years ago.
years ago, and he's in a wheelchair. He's wheelchair ridden. Isn't it sad? Isn't it sad to see that?
Thanks for keeping the okay up. Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Tim Curry's in a wheelchair, but it's okay.
Ben, bring in the thunder.
Yeah.
Lightning. Eat lightning, crack thunder.
Any other random thoughts?
Let me see.
Let's see here. I like turtles.
You know, they have this movie has a great ass pull explanation for their low budget like visual effects in places.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be off.
If you read the book, you'd know that everything that happens is supposed to be like almost unreal and not great looking. Like there's parts in the book where the clown doesn't cast a shadow, and his balloons are flying against the wind. So they got like a trump card on this one. It's a perfect explanation for why they didn't have much money for effects.
Fake news.
Okay,
They're turning the frogs gay.
Yeah.
can I tell you what my absolute favorite part of this entire movie was?
Yeah.
Yes.
The moment where he comes out of the refrigerator. Not that, but that was cool. But when he comes out and he's about to start walking towards Eddie, and he does a little strut.
Yeah.
That was my favorite
That was good.
part.
You know, it was interesting because they did with some of him and some of the boy with the head off. the stop motion missing frames or the choppy frames. They cut some frames off to make it that.
Might have done that. Might have shot it in slow mo or something.
But
or
like
fast mo.
it was choppy. It would look like go motion or stop
It
motion.
was unnatural.
and that's why it was creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Remember the scene where he was, where Mike was getting, I think it was when one of the kids were getting attacked by the bad kids gang, and then Pennywise is off in the side of the bushes with that baby arm, and he's like waving it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was so good. Oh, I forgot all about
That was like the only thing that really
That was
got
right
me and
before The
was
Rocks.
like weird and unsettling.
That was so good.
Yeah.
He was like nibbling on the fingers.
Yeah. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
This movie has layers.
It's got enough layers that makes you want to watch it again.
I do. I'm probably going Friday.
Oh, big date day, eh?
Well, no, not really. But thanks for pointing that out.
Crickets. Turtle doves.
No date.
Excuse me.
So, what's coming up for Game Sharks?
Ooh, I'm glad you asked. We are not Well, I don't want to spoil Kid Dracula. Not all that's out yet. But we're going back to Mario 3 Mix.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I kind of want to start. Oh, we're gonna play Cuphead when that comes out.
Cuphead?
Yeah, if you don't know Cuphead, look up Cuphead.
What?
It's a run and gun game with the art style being like Steamboat Willie.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it looks great.
That looks awesome.
Looks a lot of fun.
Okay.
And then eventually, I want Ben and I to eventually hate ourselves and play through the entirety of Mario 64, because like I love that game, really good game, love it to death. There are parts of it that are frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be having a good time with that.
Well, that'd be fun. I have no idea what we're doing next week. We'll have to figure it out. And then
You're the boss.
check out the Facebook page and Twitter and stuff and see what we end up choosing for next week's show.
Aw. You sound real sad about it.
It's all right.
It's the end of the show. They're going to have to stop listening.
Goodbye, everybody. That was a very good Steve Martin there.
I did, totally unintentional.
Next week we review The Jerk.
Yeah.
The jerk.
There's our inspiration.
We should.
All
do
right.
The jerk.
We're done. Thanks, everyone.
All right.